Industrialization and immigration, 19th-20th centuries. Boston's transformation into a diverse urban powerhouse. Boston, once a modest colonial port city, underwent a dramatic transformation during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Fueled by industrialization and waves of immigration, Boston evolved into one of America's most dynamic and diverse urban centers. This period reshaped the city's economy, culture, and demographics, leaving an indelible mark on its identity that still resonates today. The dawn of industrialization. Boston's economic shift. Early industrial growth. During the early 1800s, Boston's economy began shifting from a primarily maritime and trade-based system to one dominated by manufacturing and industry. This transition was part of a larger trend sweeping across New England and the United States. As the Industrial Revolution took hold, Boston's strategic coastal location, established infrastructure, and skilled labor force made it well-positioned to capitalize on new industrial opportunities. Textile mills, shipbuilding yards, machinery factories, and other manufacturing enterprises flourished, bringing jobs and wealth to the city. The rise of the textile industry. Textile manufacturing became one of Boston's defining industries. Mills sprang up not only within the city, but also in nearby towns such as Lowell and Lawrence, which were integral parts of the greater Boston industrial network. The introduction of water-powered and later steam-powered machinery revolutionized production, allowing goods to be produced on a scale and speed never before possible. This industrial boom transformed Boston into an economic powerhouse and attracted workers from across the country and abroad. Expansion of infrastructure. Industrial growth necessitated improvements in transportation and infrastructure. Boston developed an extensive railroad network that connected it to inland markets and raw materials. The city's port was modernized to handle increased shipping traffic, further cementing Boston's role as a commercial hub. Bridges, roads, and public transit systems expanded, accommodating a growing urban population and facilitating the movement of goods and people. Waves of immigration, shaping Boston's cultural mosaic. While industrialization transformed Boston's economy, it was immigration that fundamentally reshaped the city's social and cultural landscape. Between the mid-19th and early 20th centuries, Boston became a magnet for immigrants seeking better lives and economic opportunities. The Irish pioneers of Boston's immigrant community. The first major wave of immigrants to Boston during this period was the Irish, fleeing famine and political upheaval in their homeland. Beginning in the 1840s, thousands of Irish immigrants arrived in Boston, often settling in the city's poorest neighborhoods. Challenges and contributions. Irish immigrants faced severe discrimination, poverty, and harsh living conditions. Many worked in low-paying jobs such as dock labor, construction, and domestic service. Despite these hardships, the Irish quickly became a vital part of Boston's workforce and culture. The Irish community was instrumental in building Boston's infrastructure, including canals, railroads, and public buildings. Politically, they organized themselves into powerful voting blocs, eventually dominating Boston's local politics and labor unions. Religious and social institutions. The Catholic Church played a central role in Irish immigrant life. Irish immigrants built numerous churches, schools, and charitable organizations, which became cornerstones of their community and helped preserve their cultural heritage while facilitating integration into American society. Italian immigration, a new wave of influence in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. A large influx of Italian immigrants further diversified Boston's population. Italians settled predominantly in neighborhoods like the North End, establishing vibrant communities rich in cultural traditions. Economic contributions. Italian immigrants often worked as artisans, laborers, and small business owners. They contributed significantly to the construction, shipping, and manufacturing industries, strengthening Boston's industrial economy. Cultural legacy. The Italian community infused Boston with new cultural practices, including food, festivals, music, and religious celebrations. Italian Americans became an essential part of Boston's social fabric, bridging old world traditions with new world aspirations. Other immigrant groups. Boston's immigrant population also included significant numbers of Germans, Jews, Scandinavians, and Eastern Europeans. Each group added unique cultural elements to the city, contributing to its reputation as a diverse and cosmopolitan urban center. Jewish immigrants, for example, established synagogues, schools, and cultural organizations in neighborhoods such as the West End and Dorchester, German immigrants contributed to the brewing industry and established social clubs and newspapers. Urban growth and social challenges, population boom. The combined forces of industrialization and immigration caused Boston's population to explode. From about 45,000 residents in 1800, the city's population soared to over 700,000 by 1920. This rapid growth put immense pressure on housing, sanitation, and public services. Overcrowded tenements and poor living conditions were common in immigrant neighborhoods, leading to health and social problems. Labor movements and worker rights. The industrial economy created a burgeoning working class that soon began organizing for better wages, hours, and working conditions. Boston was a hotspot for labor activism, with unions forming in textile mills, shipping yards, and factories. Strikes and protests were frequent, often led by immigrant workers who sought to improve their lives while facing resistance from industrialists and city officials. Social reform efforts. In response to these challenges, Boston became a center for progressive social reform. Settlement houses like the North Bennett Street School and charitable organizations worked to improve education, public health, and housing. Reformers advocated for labor laws, sanitation improvements, and better living standards. Women's groups and religious organizations played a key role in these efforts, reflecting Boston's ongoing commitment to social justice. The political landscape. Immigrants and power. Immigrant communities, particularly the Irish, quickly gained political influence. They formed powerful political machines that controlled city government for much of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Democratic Party in Boston became closely linked with Irish Americans, helping to elect mayors, councilors, and state legislators who championed immigrant rights and urban development. This political empowerment helped ensure that immigrant concerns were addressed, even as tensions between ethnic groups occasionally flared. Cultural contributions. Boston as a melting pot. Boston's immigrant communities enriched the city's cultural life in countless ways. Cuisine, Italian bakeries and restaurants, Irish pubs, Jewish delis, and German beer halls became fixtures of Boston's neighborhoods. Festivals, annual celebrations like the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and Italian feasts became citywide events that showcased Boston's cultural diversity. Art and music. Immigrant artists, musicians, and writers contributed to Boston's vibrant cultural scene, blending their heritage with American influences. Legacy and transformation into the 20th century. By the early 20th century, Boston had fully transformed from a colonial port into a bustling industrial city defined by its diversity. Immigrant communities had laid deep roots, influencing politics, culture, and society. However, the city also faced new challenges, including urban sprawl, racial tensions, and economic shifts as some industries declined and others rose. Despite these challenges, Boston's identity as a city of immigrants and industry remained strong. Its working-class neighborhoods and cultural enclaves preserved the legacy of those who built the city through hard work and perseverance. Conclusion. The period of industrialization and immigration between the 19th and 20th centuries was foundational in shaping modern Boston. The city's economic transformation created unprecedented opportunities and challenges, while successive waves of immigrants infused Boston with rich cultural diversity. Boston's industrial might, combined with its vibrant immigrant communities, positioned it as a microcosm of the American experience, a story of struggle, resilience, and transformation.